What is up, guys, and welcome back. And today we have a review of an older Norscot model. This is of the Caterpillar 992G in 1/50th scale. Now, I've not seen a 992G in real life. Just going to come out and say it. I have seen a 992C, which is pretty much the closest thing I've seen to it, and that there was a pretty massive machine. And this here is a pretty good size model. This was released in the early 2000s, and it's really held up through the test of time. For some reason, this isn't in the core classics, because I feel as long as it's been out, it probably should be. But anyways, we're gonna dive into the detail. Up front at the bucket end, like we always do, where the action happens. So up here we have a 8-tooth bucket, and the teeth do have some fairly decent detail. I believe these are rock teeth on it. It does have some good wear plating detail on the inside, and the bucket even says cat on it, which is something that we don't see much at all, let alone for the time period that this was released. The front arm is really different. It's taking a 988 style approach, I think, or at least based off of the 988K. It has the one big single cylinder and two lift cylinders with the single piece arm, and it does lift up quite well, and it does dump at a very good angle. Curl back is, well, pretty flipping good for what it is. Not bad at all. Up front, you do have some plastic lights with silvered surfaces, and you can see the cab up there with the mirrors. Guarantee that cab's all spacious and comfy. The wheels, they do roll very well. Now, the plastic coloration on the rims really isn't the greatest, but well, that's just being picky. I mean, it looks better on camera than it does in person, but it does have a very nice and reasonable tire tread on it. Articulation, you got a good range of articulation. You can achieve a pretty good turning angle. All the handrails on this are plastic, and they do seem a little bit oversized, well, which they are, but I mean, again, I'm cutting this model a lot of slack for its time period. Up top, you can see the anti-slip texturing, which again is very good for how old this model is. And you can see the two stacks and two air cleaners up top. A grill here, which is black, and then another one up top. Going around to the back, you do have a handrail back here, and it does say Caterpillar. And the walk does continue around. Onto this side, it's pretty well the same. It's a very nice piece, I have to say. The pivot point doesn't look the greatest, but again, that's just me being picky, because that's the real big drawback, as I mentioned in the 994 review, or I will mention in the 994 review if I haven't uploaded it already, that these larger cat wheel loaders, the big downfall and the real big turnoff for me, I guess you could put it, is these pivot points do look very plain, and it does detract from the model. But again, this model was made well before hydraulic lines became like a standard thing. As I do a very terrible job of spinning it around. So you can tell this is an older model. It does have the Cat Power Stripe logo, which is now 10 years in the rears, per se. Pretty much when Cat went to the Power Edge logo in 2006, yeah, this one was left out to dry, and it's so long gone. But it's so nostalgic to actually see this logo, even though I see it quite a bit still. It's just really awesome to see it. Because it's the logo I grew up with. On the back of the cab, you have two work lights, as I probably should move it up. In order to do that, we'll just lift the arms. And you can see the Cat logo back there. And yeah, now one thing about Cat models these days is the color separation isn't the greatest between black and yellow. It's mostly yellow on some machines, but it's pretty well spaced out on this. Well, it could be better, but again, that's Cat's fault for the designing. But anyways, so this model, as per mentioned, was made quite some time ago, and we're going to compare it to the Bobcat S750. It's yeah, there's quite a size difference between this and the 994, but still, I would give this a solid 9 out of 10 on my scale of rating, and I mean, for the time period, you know, it's not the most detailed. The functionality is great. It looks great. I think it's an underrated model, honestly. I mean, you know, it would have been an easy 10 out of 10, probably 10 or 15 years ago, easily. But this piece is very solid, and I do highly recommend it to you guys. So, thanks for watching, guys. As always, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you are not already. Thank you guys for 300 subscribers, and hope you have a good day, good night, or whatever. Peace out, guys.